following are excerpts from the films of Peque Gallaga. It is a condensed sampling of Peque's film output throughout the years, from his breakthrough 1982 film Oro Plata Mata until his untimely death in May of 2020. Gallaga's films cover a wide range of genres that have made enduring marks on Philippine popular culture. In the war genre, the larger-than-life Isang Araw Walang Diyos begins with a bloody massacre. The film then rapidly regresses into a bloody siege that pits faith against faith.
Galit ka ba dahil pinatay namin ang mga kasamahan mo?
Depicting man's brutality in all its gore and inhumanity. The events in the historical film Virgin Forest transpire in the midst of the armed conflict between the First Philippine Republic and the United States. Two American soldiers lead a band of savage warriors recruited from the Macabebe tribe of Pampanga, masquerading as Katipunan soldiers. Their mission? To capture President Emilio Aguinaldo. A film that challenged us to think of ourselves as belonging to a nation and how we, as a people, conduct ourselves through difficult historical circumstances.
Huwag niyo sayangin ang galit niyo. May malaking kaaway na naghihintay sa inyo.
The classic Oro Plata Mata presented a vicious upstairs-downstairs drama among aristocrats trapped in the brutal jungle during the Japanese occupation. Set in the distant periphery of the Second World War's battlefields, the film's sometimes dreamlike narrative recurrently crosses over into the drama genre up to its desolate denouement. The sexually charged Scorpionites that dared to render an anti-fascist message clothed in an edgily brutal cautionary tale that openly mocked the stifling censorship and oppression of the Marcos era. In the family genre, the holiday favorite, Puso ng Pasko,
I'll make your wish come true. Wish, 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 wish.
featuring the evil sisters, Jacqueline Jose and Rita Avila.
Ngayon din, lumayas kayo!
Pamilya ko to, tita.
And their vain efforts to crush the dwindling Christmas spirit in the hearts of a dysfunctional Filipino family.
Ba't tayo kailangan lumipat sa garahe? Tsaka paano si Lola?
A roller coaster ride of spirit-crushing disappointments and heartwarming miracles. Peque's quirky comedy, top billed by the bad boys of Philippine showbiz, begins in the coral-rich waters of the 100 Islands of Pangasinan. Somehow teleports into the Nevada desert.
We are, in other words, more or less, not in the 100 Islands.
And peaks in a chaotic brawl. Just as eccentric within the comedy genre is Pinoy Blonde.
Ako ba pakialamero? Huwag mo na siyang pakialaman. Tatanong lang ako, tapos sinapak na ako. Ang gusto mong gawin ko? Kita mo? Kita mo?
Hayaan niyo kung harapin ko ang kapalaran ko.
Palarin ka sana, anak ko.
Hayaan yung harapin kong kapalaran ko.
Palarin ka sana. Andrew.
Peque's tongue-in-cheek homage to film icons Broca and Bernal.
Anong pangalan mo?
Smile Bernal.
Ako naman si Marilu Diaz Abaya.
Featuring tour de force performances by Ricky Davao and Eddie Garcia.
For all you lonely lovers out there, no Akala ko ang wagas na pag-ibig.
Although ostensibly falling under the horror genre, many episodes that he wrote and directed in the hit series Shake, Rattle, and Roll displayed Gallaga's outlandish brand of humor.
Hawak ko ang mga itlog mo.
You may kiss the bride.
Perhaps the finest specimen of Gallaga's mastery of the adventure genre is the fantasy film Magic Temple, a fable whose unabashed call for national unity resonates in the hearts of its fans to this day.
Lahat para sa isa, kapangyarihan mo'y gamitin mo, karapatan mo ay paglaban mo, ngunit iisa pa rin tayo.
An enthralling adventure that will forever live in the collective memories of every parent and child who saw the original release in the 1990s, who, when it comes to it, can still belt out a word-perfect rendition of that timeless hit song. Coming early in his directing career, Gallaga's high-budgeted fantasy film Once Upon a Time starred Filipino cinema giants Dolphy and Gloria Romero.
Magtatanghal ako ng kababalaghan.
Instead of simply rehashing the tale of our grandmother's favorite bogeyman, Peque imbued Dolphy's tikbalang with an excess of cowardice.
Kalahati tao, kalahati kabayo. Kalahati tao para makapag-isip. Kalahati kabayo para tumakbo ng mabilis bago mag-isip. Hindi ka duwagan yan. Yan ang natural sa aming mga tigbalang.
And just a touch of heroism that, in the end, saves the day for a gang of contemporary kids who find themselves trapped in the malevolent netherworld. And finally, of course, the horror. The horror. Gallaga first demonstrated his unrivaled command of the genre with the very first Shake, Rattle, and Roll. From that portentous beginning, many other film classics in the horror genre followed. The iconic Diana, wherein Peque touches on the feminist element, anchoring the film's essence on a mother's plea for a change of heart in the infant beast. Many of Gallaga's fantasy and horror films are audacious reimaginings of old Filipino myths. But his unflagging quest for the unique and the innovative has bestowed on Philippine cinema a host of original creatures and myths that are profoundly suffused with Filipino traditional values. Peque Gallaga's eclectic library of films evidence an artistic journey of transcendence of the commercial, coupled with persistent incursions into the social psychology of the Filipino as a people.
Alam mo na kung gaano kasakit ang ginawa mo sa akin.
I'm totally surrounded by Botox, collagen, glutathione.
Hey, Rem. I'm from France. Gusto na ng frog legs.
Halika. Ano pa?
Cha-cha-cha, que rico cha-cha-cha.
You want to see the freak?
Ma, buwang to siya.
Tabang! Palihog!
Anong kamal? Hindi po ito buhi ka! Hoy!
Peque Gallaga's eclectic library of films evidence an artistic journey of transcendence of the commercial, coupled with persistent incursions into the social psychology of the Filipino as a people. He leaves with us a venerable body of work that may, on the surface, seem like mere entertainment, but in essence represents a true patriot's humble contributions to the eternal discourse of a people's identity, ideals, and aspirations.